Hi, welcome to Astrobabble. I am Donna from Donna B Astrology.
And I'm Lynda from Scallywag Astrology.
And today we are going to be talking about the full moon in Leo. So things will be coming to fruition for you. As Lynda is bringing up the charts, I can talk about the moon mansion. And so the moon mansion is the 10th moon mansion. This is from Christopher Warnock's book of the moon mansions. And it is called, I'm not so sure what our Ardestial, the brow of Leo. This is of the star of Regulus, and it has the energy of Mars and Jupiter. It is good for success, aid, healing, recovery, improvement, and help, as well as increasing in strength. It is good for love and friendship, or it is good for destruction of enemies, incarceration of captives. It strengthens buildings, and you can seek help with your allies. So in this climate, this sounds really nice. It's a nice it's a nice moon mansion. It was better than the last one. The last one was a little foreboding, but this one seems to be a little bit better.
So the moon is in Leo, so it's ruled by the sun, which is always opposite the moon when we've got a full moon. Pluto pretty close to that sun, so Pluto's opposite the full moon. It's 5 degrees away, but that's still pretty close. And yeah, Pluto's newly in Aquarius, so Mars and
And
Saturn.
this full moon is happening at 5 degrees 14 minutes of Leo, so that's where it's going to be landing in your chart.
Yeah, Mars and Saturn are both in aversion to the full moon, so they can't affect it. Venus is also in aversion, and Jupiter can square it. Actually, it's kind of squaring it quite closely. The moon, I think the first aspect is moon coming up to square that Jupiter, but at least it's some help. And Jupiter's in the sign of the moon's exaltation, so yeah, hopefully that will be helpful. Moon's out of bounds too, so
I was just looking at that.
yeah.
Moon's out of bounds, and almost all the planets are peregrine except Venus, Mars, and Saturn.
In the signs that are in aversion to this full moon. So yeah. Well, shall we have a look at the horoscopes for this?
We recommend that you read or you listen to your rising sign. If you don't know your rising sign, Lynda or I could help you with that, or you could go to AstroSeek and find it yourself. You need your birth information as well as your time. So that is the information that you need for that. And Lynda and I have done a video of why you should read your rising sign or your ascendant. It's called the same thing, rising or ascendant. Why you should read those and why it's so important. If you are a Leo, this full moon's happening in your first house. The first house is things that are becoming to fruition. So think back about 6 months ago. Did you start anything that you were working on for just yourself? Whether you decided to pick up a class, and maybe you might be graduating it, or if you are working on any kind of like a redo for yourself, this is the time that you're going to be seeing those results of what you started about 6 months ago. So this is a very interesting time, especially if you are a Leo rising.
And if you are a Cancer rising, this full moon is happening in your second house. The second house is involved with your income, your personal finances, and resources. So full moons are high points, culminations, or endings. So for some, this could be, you're leaving a job or an income stream is dissolving at this time. You do have the Pluto opposite this full moon in your eighth house of shared finances and resources. So, there's some change to do with shared finances and resources that may mean that, you can somehow has some impact on your personal finances. It could be a high point. It could be, maybe you've got that job that you've been going for. I don't know. There's not a lot going on in the 10th house. You do have the North Node there, but Yeah, this is high point culmination or endings to do with, as I said, personal finances, income, resources.
And if you are a Gemini rising, this full moon is going to be happening in your third house. And the third house is your house of transportation and communication and siblings. So early education as well. This is something that will be coming to fruition around your close community. This is the house of where your community is residing. And so things that you have started around that about 6 months ago, those things might be coming to fruition, of whatever you started, because you plant the seed 6 months ago and you kind of see that culminating around the full moon from that. So this is, whether it's a car, this might be something that's coming that you have started around those subjects, as well as your brothers and sisters. This is your house of siblings and extended family as well.
And if you are a Taurus ascendant, this full moon is happening in your fourth house. The fourth house is our parents, our heritage, it's our home and living situation, and real estate matters. So this could be nothing to do with you. It might have something to do with your parents. Maybe they're reaching a high point or a culmination or an ending. It could be something to do with a home or real estate matters. Maybe you're closing on that house, that mortgage, or whatever real estate matter that might be. It might be you've signed the lease or moved into a new place. Or it could be, somebody's leaving home because this is endings. We have Pluto in the 10th. So a bit of focus on your public reputation and career. You've also got Jupiter in the first, which is nice. That's really good. And this full moon is squaring that. So expansion, health, how people perceive you. That Pluto also in a very public house is very powerful. It's transformative. Yeah. Maybe that's going to have some knock-on effect in the home. Maybe you're able to move into a larger home, or maybe you're looking to renovate or something, or if you've been undergoing renovations, maybe they're coming to a completion at this time or something similar.
And if you are an Aries rising, this is going to be happening in your fifth house. And the fifth house is your house of creativity. It's as well the house of fun, activity, your children. Most of the time they're fun.
Mm.
But this is also the house of the things that you do for fun. This is could be going to see a sports event or even doing a sports event. But this is something that you do as a hobby or like, I said earlier, it's the house of your children, the things that you create. So think back about 6 months ago. What were you starting to create of things that you do for fun? So that might be where you can find where this full moon is showing up in your house.
And if you are a Pisces ascendant, this full moon is happening in your sixth house. The sixth house is the house of illness. It's also pets, co-workers, employees, and those that serve others. That can include people like doctors, nurses, first responders. This could be a high point, a culmination, or an ending. So, particularly for those that are in professions which serve others, such as doctors, nurses, etc. Maybe there's a graduation at this time, or maybe you've wanted to apply and maybe even had, to do it several times. Maybe you're accepted into something at this time. That would possibly be more of a new moon thing. But I mean, if this is something that has taken a while, this could be like a real high point, like, oh my God, I got into, whatever academy, university, whatever. It could be something as simple as, a pet graduating obedience school. It could be doing well in a show. Unfortunately, it could be the passing of a pet. When it comes to matters of illness and that, you do have Pluto in the 12th house. It's very transformative power in the house of your undoing. Maybe if there have been addictions, bad habits, self-defeating habits, escapism, maybe something's kind of being addressed here at this time. I don't necessarily read it as that, but you've got a 12th and 6th house emphasis here. What else? Oh, you got Saturn in the first too. Eek. That might be good for losing weight though. Particularly if you've had some health condition that has required you to lose some weight. Maybe this is a time when you're able to actually start to do that. That would be very helpful.
And if you are an Aquarius rising, you have gotten some new energy. This is the full moon is going to be happening in your seventh house. And the seventh house is the house of the other. It's the one other. It's the house where you have committed relationships, whether it's a spouse or even a dentist appointment. It is with the one-on-one type of relationships that you have. But this is the house where those things will be coming together with the things that you started and planted a seed about 6 months ago. Will have to do with the things that will be coming together for you around the one-on-one relationships.
And if you are a Capricorn ascendant, this full moon is happening in your 8th house. The 8th house is shared finances and resources. It includes things like inheritances, debts, loans, taxes, insurance. It's the spouses or the significant others' money. It's, shared finances, whether that's a business partner or a romantic partner. So there may be a high point, culmination, or ending. This could be something like, you're finally able to pay off that mortgage, or you find out you're inheriting, but I wouldn't see this as finding out you're inheriting. This could be like the inheritance comes in at this time, or maybe you've applied for a loan and it's been approved. So yeah, and I mean, you've got that Pluto and Sun in the 2nd house of your personal finances, so this should be really good.
And if you are a Sagittarius rising, this full moon is going to be happening in your ninth house. And the ninth house is the house of philosophy, law, publishing, the esoteric subjects. Things will be coming to fruition around those subjects. If you had a legal matter, this might be coming to an ending, or this could be a if you were publishing or wanting to publish a book and you had submitted anything about 6 months ago, this might be when the editor is getting back to you about that, or anything of the or higher education. It could also be foreigners, anything like if you were planning a trip to a far country or someplace that's out of your home area. This is where all that resides, is those themes in the ninth house. So things will be coming, whatever you started about 6 months ago, this will be coming to a fruition right around this time.
And if you are a Scorpio ascendant, this full moon is happening in your 10th house. The 10th house is the house of our career and public reputation. It's what we're known for. So there's a high point here. Quite often, you would expect this to be career. Maybe there's a promotion. Maybe you have more attention on you at this time. Maybe you've just completed a big project. It's also the house of honors and rewards. So you may be recognized for something at this time, and that could be something that started 6 months ago at the new moon in Leo. Just having a quick look. This can often show up with other things too, like not just career, in that you just have attention on you at this time. The 10th house is a very visible house. And, I'm fond of saying, maybe you're getting married, maybe you're having a baby, for whatever reason, attention's on you. I'm just having a quick look in your house. It doesn't look like it's children. But look, there's Jupiter in the 7th, maybe, some relationship matter. Maybe there's an engagement or a wedding or something at this time. You also have Uranus there. Maybe it's something a little bit shocking happening there. The house of siblings, Capricorn's also got a few planets in there. Maybe it's something to do with siblings, but probably not, because they're an aversion. Like Capricorn and Leo don't see each other. So, interesting. Yeah, I reckon maybe for most people with a Scorpio ascendant, maybe it's somehow related to the partner, because I mean, the full moon is squaring that Jupiter, and that's that moon's going to move on and square that Jupiter just after the full moon. So, interesting.
And if you are a Libra rising, this is going to be happening. This full moon is going to be happening in your 11th house. And the 11th house is your house of hopes and dreams. It's also the house of, uh, your friends and associates and groups. So this could be something that you're finishing, or, things are finally coming together, around, if you were trying to get a football team getting, started 6 months ago, this might be when you're first meeting, or, the banquet for it, or anything like that. So this is things that are coming to fruition around your hopes and dreams, or your groups and associations. So very fun.
And if you are a Virgo ascendant, this full moon is happening in your 12th house. So the 12th house is our undoing. It's secrets, it's the dark and hidden things, it's working behind the scenes, it's addictions, hidden illnesses, it is self-defeating habits. It's also places of confinement like prisons and hospitals. For whatever reason, there's a high point, culmination, or ending. Maybe you've been in hospital because, you've got the Sun and Pluto in the 6th house of illness. Maybe you're leaving hospital, or maybe it could be, if there have been addictions or something similar, maybe this is a time where that is being addressed. Maybe that's an ending to addictions. As I said, there's that Pluto Sun in the 6th house. If it is, and you relapse or anything, because Pluto is going to go back into the 5th house of fun. Pluto is going to come back 19th of November. So, and it's going to be in that 6th house to help you transform, for 20 something years. So what do they say? Every time you try to quit or whatever, gets you closer to when you actually do. So, or it could be, you've been working behind the scenes, and now's the time that you're coming, back out of it, because the next full moon will be in Virgo, which will be, focused very much on you. Maybe you've just been working behind the scenes and wrapping up whatever you've been working on.
And as usual, I do bring a stone to these videotapings. And so the stone I have brought, it's a pretty big one. Uh, this is called Stellar Calcite. It comes in different sizes, but you can tell why it's called Stellar Calcite, because the shape of it with these, it grows in that long, very pointed rays or whatever. And this is it's a pretty, usually I tell you that calcites are a very gentle stone. This is a very high vibe stone. This is the kind of stone that you would use for amping up. This is good. This works for the shot for, well, it does work for the solar plexus chakra, but it also works for the third eye as well as the crown and beyond. It has a galanohedral crystal crystals crystal formation. It works with the element of fire and storm. It carries the vibrational frequency associated with extraterrestrial intelligences. This is why it's called a stellar calcite. It works to contact Atlantis, Lemuria, and ancient Egypt are among the spiritual civilizations whom you can access the secrets using these tools. It lifts the consciousness to the higher realms and manifestations, with other stones you would need. And yeah, it works for when you use them in grids. It helps create the different passageways to other realms. So this is the stellar calcite, and there it is. And I will be writing an article about it. It's a very cool stone. I think I'll be meditating with that for a little while. I think I need to. Usually, stones come to me for a reason, and I pick them for a reason, and just holding on to the stone for a little while. I think that's it's a stone that I is obviously calling to me. So hopefully it calls to you as well. It's a very interesting stone to be working with. It has the most hardness of 3, so it's a dainty stone. It will break easily. It's not really recommended for jewelry. Oh, I hate to
Ah,
wear that thing all day. That would be a little high, high in vibration.
yeah. I'm just smiling because you called it dainty, but you had this great big slab. Yeah, but it's delicate.
Yes, it
Okay.
can break easily.
And let's have a look at the aspects.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking last month. Tax season starts the end of January, so we're not even into that for
Oh,
for
okay.
the whatever. And the Lions are really doing well. It's a Michigan, that's where I'm from, a
Mhm.
Michigan football team. So the football isn't over yet. So those good speeches are definitely still can be invoked. Those transformational speeches.
I see. I see. Well, the first aspect we're going to have is on the 27th of January, which will be Sun squared Jupiter. Jupiter's enthusiasm and optimism and generosity. But yeah, when it's a square aspect and it's squaring our Sun, which is ourselves, we might just get a little bit carried away. Maybe we're a little bit too overly optimistic, bite off more than we can chew. For some, it may even be a little bit judgmental or condescending sometimes. Hopefully not, but yeah, look, this is going to pass pretty quickly anyway.
Yeah, when it's a sun aspect, the sun moves a degree every day, so it does move through pretty quickly. And a square is that tension. It's asking you to do something. So this is going to be asking you to do something in order to get this aspect to show up for you. So this could be hopefully on the generous realm that Lynda was saying, because this is going to be a big Jupiter month. I saw a lot of, for some reason, Jupiter is, well, it's heading towards that Uranus. We're
Yeah,
all
well, that's
ducking for that
true.
one.
Yeah. Um,
But it is now going in that forward,
mm,
direction. A lot of the planets were in retrograde, and now most of the planets are getting out of it. So yeah,
yeah.
things will be moving a little bit faster. And as Lynda was saying, that square, even though it's generous and it's a benefic star or a benefic planet, it still can, you can overdo some things. You can be more than, a square sometimes doesn't turn out exactly how you want it to be. Sometimes it can have some negative results, even though it's a benefic star, benefic planet. Why am I
Mm,
calling planets stars? But yeah.
yeah. Well, I was just looking too that sun's in detriment in Aquarius. So yeah, it's just really easy to bite off more than you can chew. I don't think it's overly malefic or anything, this aspect. It's just, you know, like the thing that popped into my head just now. It's like, I'm going to clean out my closet. So you take everything out and put it on the bed, and then it's like, oh, you get about a quarter of the way through, and it's like, yeah, no. So then you have to throw everything on the floor so you can go to sleep.
And then on January 27th, Uranus is going to move direct. And Uranus is that planet of shock and an awe and doing things differently and doing things rebelliousness. It's the planet that wants you to see things in a different way. This is how we grow. This I know everybody hates that shocking aspect of Uranus, but if we didn't have Uranus, we would be fine, comfortable sitting on our couches. Uranus is what gets you off that couch and makes you look at a situation in a new way. So when it's going direct, it's going to be a little bit more powerful, I think. So we'll be able to see, and that's how we change, that's how we grow, and this is what spurs us on to advance.
Yeah, I mean, if you have like natal planets 19 degrees in the fixed signs, so Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius, you'll probably feel this more. Maybe there's been changes, upsets, or innovative things happening, but maybe they've been a little bit delayed. You know it's coming, but nothing's actually happening yet. Now Uranus is moving forward. So yeah, if you got planets at 19 degrees, have a look, because something might be shifting finally, which sounds really weird, but because Uranus is sudden, shocking. But yeah, maybe you've maybe even felt kind of like an unease, even if you're not aware of what's happening. Maybe it's just like, oh, things just feel a bit off. Maybe the penny will drop and you'll find out what that's about.
Then the next aspect we're going to be talking about again on the same day is going to be Mercury will conjunct Mars. And when Mercury and Mars get together, this is this is going to be happening on a Saturday. Hey, this would be good for one of those football coaches to liven up their teams to pull out. These are really strong games here in the end of January. So and I'm sure there are other sports teams. There's basketball and hockey going on around here. I'm not quite sure what's going on in Australia, but these are good, when you have Mercury and Mars together, it's good for charging up people to persuade them to take action. Mercury is communication, Mars is that action planet. So this would be also be a good aspect for debating. So I know we have presidential debates coming up in the United States. I don't think we're going to see too many more of them unless all of the participants are willing to participate. It's very good for promoting or persuading. When I say persuading, and I'm going, where's Pluto on this? So Pluto can't see it, but this is very good when these two planets get together. It's good for persuading and charging up people to take action. This is a blending of those energies.
Yeah, Mercury, Mars, you may need to watch your words a little bit. You may be a little bit more harsh than you realize when you're communicating with others. That Mars is exalted, so it's a powerful Mars. It can speed up because, Mars wants to move fast. Thought and action working together hand in hand, which is good. You think it, let's do it. There's no dilly-dallying. Plus, they're both coming up to trine that Uranus, which has just gone direct. So maybe that great idea, Mars is like, yeah, let's do it. Bang. Yeah, this is moving forward on projects. Yeah, I like it.
You can get a lot accomplished with this one.
Yeah, just the only thing I would be mindful of is that you're not kind of being a bit bossy, or a little bit aggressive, or a little bit, yeah, just be aware of how you're communicating with others.
And on the following day, this is going to be Sunday, is Venus will sextile Saturn. And it will be happening on January 28th. And when Venus and Saturn get together, it's a sextile. So it's a nice aspect. It's an aspect that kind of is a cooperating aspect. You do have to do action in order to see any fruition with it or anything to come of it. But it's involved in a very nice trine with the moon. But yeah, when Venus and Saturn are sextiling, it's a nice aspect. It should be a positive outcome.
Yeah, even I like Venus, Saturn positive aspects, your sextiles and your trines. I'm not a big fan of Saturn in general. I'm a night chart. So, but look, yes, there may be a sense of obligation when it comes to relationships, perhaps a little bit more serious. But look, I believe the same day later, Venus is going to trine Jupiter. So that's nice. And like Donna said, at the time of this aspect, that Venus sextile Saturn is exact, the moon is moving up within 1 degree, well, less than 1 degree, to trine that Venus. So look, I think this could be this is the security and the comfort of knowing, you're with people that love you and care for you, or it could have something to do with beauty or art or just friendships. It's that stability, and that's what Saturn brings to soft aspects with Saturn. Yeah, it's not the excitement of Uranus, it is the stability and the comfort of being with good friends, good company, people that you can trust. It's just nice. I like it. Not that it matters whether I like it or not, but still.
And then yeah, as Lynda was saying earlier, this is going to be happening on the same day. Mercury is going to trine Uranus. This is these two planets, when they're together, it's communication and looking at things in a new way. So how you would manifest with these is it gives you a chance to, if you've been having an issue or a problem, this gives you a chance to look at it and maybe resolve it in a different perspective or a new light. So I really like this. And it also gives you a new way of learning. If there's a subject that like you just couldn't understand a particular subject, this might be a good day to like readdress that and see if you can't look at it in a different perspective and get some answers. It's a new way of learning. So I really I will be looking forward to this day.
Yeah,
There's a lot of nice aspects on today. So
yeah,
yeah, you can start today on you can start January 28th. Hopefully there will be a lot of nice things coming your way.
yeah. Mercury trine Uranus, kind of eureka, aha moments, quick thinking, innovative thinking, maybe thinking outside the box. Yeah, really useful. For some, it may be a little bit unnerving, but look, I think even that's not going to be too big a problem. But things are happening, thoughts are racing. Yeah, I like it. I like it too. And of course, it's not really just Mercury Uranus, it's really Mercury Mars Uranus. So, yeah, because Mercury and Mars are still pretty close. So, both Mars and Uranus want to go fast. So, interesting.
And on the same day, this is going to be happening again. And this is where I said this is a really nice day. When you have Venus is going to trine Jupiter, and those two are the benefics in our solar system. And I like this aspect for healing. I really do. It's if you're looking for an improvement in a situation, this is when the time to take the action to get it done. And it's easier because you got that trine kind of aspect, so things will flow a lot easier. So this is a really nice aspect for today. It's something definitely to look forward to.
Yeah, both benefics, good company, friends, loved ones, generosity, expansion, just a really nice energy. When did you say it's a Sunday there? So for over there, it'd be a great time to get together with friends and that. It is. You've kind of got like that closeness and that security with the earlier aspect with the Venus sextile Saturn. You've got a bit of fun and excitement with that Mercury, what was it, trine Uranus? And yeah, here's Jupiter joining in the fun. So this could be, yeah, quite a nice day.
And then on January 29th, which is just the next day, Mars will trine Uranus. And when this happens, this is a good day to, like Lynda was alluding to earlier with another aspect. This is a good day to have the courage to do something and the courage to do something new. So this is a aspect that with Mars, it like Lynda said earlier, that it is exalted here in Capricorn. So it's a really nice, strong Mars, and it's got Mercury there to kind of help it along. But with the Uranus, it's gonna ask you to do something that's kind of new, maybe revolutionary. Um, should be fun. It should be an interesting day for sure. If not fun, it should be at least interesting.
Yeah, the only thing you may need to watch for is, being a little bit hasty because they both want to move fast, both Mars and Uranus. But yeah, look, Mars is exalted. He's in an earth sign ruled by Saturn. So, you know, that's what makes him exalted because that Saturn can kind of harness that energy. And Uranus is in Taurus, which is another earth sign. And, Taurus isn't known for its speed necessarily. So, look, probably out of all the combinations, it's not too bad. Energy and innovation, rushing forward. It should be interesting.
And then on February 2nd, Mercury will sextile Neptune. This is going to lead to intuitive communication. Mercury is the planet of communication, and Neptune is that sensitivity that you would have around you. So
Yeah, great for intuitive thinking. You may have a lot of like just knowing something. Could be really great for creativity. Yeah, I wouldn't be signing important documents on this day without double or even triple checking because Neptune is a bit cloudy and foggy, but look, great for idealism, altruistic projects, all that sort of thing. Yeah, great day to daydream or be creative or intuitive.
not a day for it. This could even be miscommunication as well. Just like Lynda was saying, this is it's part of the communication, and Neptune isn't necessarily knowing for being the clearest planet to give you the information that you need. So this could end up with double check and recheck things, as Lynda was saying, because this is not a clear day for clear information to be happening.
Yeah, though with it being a sextile, I would expect it to be more a comedy of errors than something drastic. But look, always a good idea to double check important paperwork anyway.
Yes, so tax season will be open at this point, so don't turn in your taxes at this time. At least put it on the table and let it rest for a minute. And then on February 5th, we have Mercury will move into Aquarius. Oh, and this is the Mercury is like it's Mercury, and then the higher vibe is Uranus. So Uranus is when Mercury moves into Aquarius, this is when Mercury is more going to be more innovative. It's going to be more looking at things in a new way. So this is a very good way that we can get more information, elevating our consciousness, our what we're trying to work towards. Mercury will help with this, I think, in this sign.
It's a shame that Saturn is in the sign next to it because traditionally Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. With modern astrology, they consider Uranus the ruler. But yeah, look, it's moved into a new sign. Mercury is thinking, communications, learning. So yeah, there will be a new focus for learning and communications. You've also got the Sun and Pluto in Aquarius. So, you've got 3 planets there. That house, wherever it is in your natal chart, is going to be a little bit more emphasized. It is a fixed sign, so you can be a little bit fixed in your opinions and yeah. But look, innovative, often ahead of its time. So
The next aspect we're going to be talking about is Mercury will conjunct Pluto. This will be happening on February 5th. And this is an aspect where you're going to see transformative speeches. This is also obsessive ideas as well. But this is the first time that Mercury is going to be with Pluto since Pluto and the Sun were together. So this might feel a little different than Mercury usually acts with Pluto, with that new cycle that Pluto started when the Sun and Pluto were together. All these planets are all going to have to be filtering through that Pluto, and this is going to be the start of it. So that Pluto and when Mercury are together are, very influential.
yeah,
Power
transformative.
struggles is what I'm seeing. Yeah. Yeah. You could easily, there's power struggles with Pluto, associated with Pluto. Pluto wants power, and that Mercury is has the ability to communicate the power that in the ego kind of trips that Pluto plays with.
I think this can be transformative thinking. Yeah, maybe getting really honest with yourself, going way down deep, examining motives and all that. Look, Mercury's moving pretty fast because Mercury's coming up to the sun. It's going to have its cazimi, which is when it meets up with the sun very soon. But yeah, look, transformative thinking. Yeah, you may need to be aware that, maybe there are people that are trying to manipulate you through the power of speech or whatever at this time. But look, Mercury's moving pretty quick. It is moving at 156% of its usual speed because it's coming up, racing up to meet up with the sun. So, and as Donna said, we've got a few planets. We've got Mars and Venus coming up to cross over that Pluto very soon too. We're going to have a lot of planets in Aquarius. Got a lot of planets in Capricorn at the moment as we're recording this.
And then on February 7th, so we have a couple of days for a breather on between that one, Venus will trine Uranus. And this is one of my favorite aspects now. This is a time where you can, when in your love relationships, you can do something different. Like if you plan, and you like always go to, a dinner and a movie for, on a date night, go bowling and, dinner and something like that, but mix it up. And you'll find that with a trine, it's going to be a positive, kind of energy. So, this would be an opportunity to just do something different as far as your relationships. Do something different. It's asking you to just mix it up, and it should turn out positively.
Yeah, just new ways of enjoying yourself, because Venus is what brings us joy. And this can include relationships, but not just your, significant other. This can be friends as well. It is art and beauty, whatever brings you joy. Yeah, new, innovative. Maybe you're just exposing yourself to different types of art or different forms of enjoyment. Variety is the spice of life. So have fun.
I was hung up the last time of that same transit. Is my husband and I, we were driving and we drove a different way to a certain destination and ended up in Holland, Michigan. Got out of the car and there was beautiful tulips all over. It was just wonderful. It was, so it's asking you to do something in a different way, and it's very positive. So you can look forward to something like that. That is very nice. And then we have Mars is going to sextile Neptune,
Mm-hmm.
and this is going to happen on February 7th. Yeah, this would be something that would be, it's calling you to do something as far as leadership, not necessarily positive. This has a malefic with it. When Mars and Neptune are sextiling together, this is a aspect that could, the only thing I'm catching is intuitive thoughts that are not necessarily good.
Yeah, Neptune kind of doesn't have any boundaries. It's kind of all foggy and misty, and the boundaries aren't defined. It can also it can kind of sap the energy of that Mars. But Mars is exalted. It is in the superior position too. It's earlier in zodiacal order. It's in Capricorn, whereas Neptune's in Pisces. So look, that Mars has probably been working pretty hard, I reckon. So this could be in a positive manner. This could be actually kind of, that Mars taking a bit of a break, maybe even being a little bit whimsical, maybe directing that energy towards projects that are altruistic or idealistic, putting that energy into helping others, perhaps. Neptune can dissipate energy. But look, it is a sextile and Mars is strong and Mars is in the superior position. I think it won't be too bad. Mars is malefic, but because he's exalted and in good condition, I think he's going to be a little bit better behaved. And he better be, because he's on my ascendant.
Well, let's cross our fingers that he is.
Otherwise, it could be interesting.
Mm-hmm. And the next aspect we are going to be talking about on February 8th is going to be the Sun will square Uranus. And this is an opportunity to change your routine. This gives you to consciously change it so that the changes don't happen to you. So work, in other words, work the planet, don't let the planet work you. That would be my mantra for today. I happen to be saying that a lot lately. Yeah. Work the planet, don't let the planet work you. So mix it up. Do something with that would consciously get you to look at a situation in a new light.
Yeah, look, this is disruption. This is discomfort with change. And whether that's just, you go to your coffee shop and they don't have what blend you want, or, you're trying to get somewhere in a hurry and you catch every red light, and then there's detours and just frustrating energy, changes. The sun moves quickly. This is only going to be a day or two at most that you're going to feel the energy. It's just discomfort with change. Maybe somebody challenges you on your ideas. Mercury is in the same sign as the sun. Yeah, look, it's just irritation. You'll survive. You'll get through it. And then we have a sneak peek at the new moon in Aquarius, which will be on the 9th of February. Look at all those planets in Aquarius. Pluto, Mercury, full moon, the new moon.
Definitely Aquarius season. You can definitely feel it. So happy birthdays to the Aquarian.
Yeah, unfortunately, Saturn, the ruler of this new moon, won't be able to see it because it's in Pisces, the sign next to it. It's like it's in its blind spot. It kind of can't see it, so it can't assist, which is a shame. But Jupiter can, which is nice. Jupiter will be sextile it. Mars and Venus can't see it either. So at least the malefics can't touch it. Oh, look at that,
There's
though.
a positive spin to it.
We have a square to Uranus. Uranus is getting in over the last couple of months. Don't you think Uranus has been kind of making contacts with a lot of these new moons and full moons?
Yes. Yeah. There's been a lot of at the lunations because how the ancient astrologers used to use it is the lunations, meaning the newer full moons, will carry the energy of that lunation through the next 2 weeks. So when one planet is aspecting them all the time, it, it's I think it's significant.
Yeah, well, not just that, but I mean, Uranus is now direct too. So not that he's going to be charging forward super fast or anything, but he is direct. So there is that. So, Donna, where can people find you and what services are you offering?
I do natal readings as well as year ahead readings using different methods. I also do horary electional, and I work with crystals to do energy healing or chakra balancing, however you best want to assimilate it into, however you want to take it. But yeah, it kind of works that way. And then you can get a hold of me at Donna Bar Consulting at gmail.com, or my website is donnabastrology.com. So I'm sorry, gosh, I can't talk.
We forgot
And
to change our
you can get a hold
names.
of me. I know we forgot to change our names. I know usually I read it from there. So Lynda, what services are you offering, and how can people get a hold of you?
I am at Scullywag Astrology. That's astrology.scullywag.com. I offer natal readings, relationship readings, and year ahead readings. And as we're recording this, Mercury is still in its shadow period. So, and this current or the last Mercury retrograde knocked me around. So I'm hoping by next podcast, I'm a little bit more on point. A little bit, well, I've still got that Neptune squaring. Is it squaring? No, I think it's trining my natal Neptune. But yes. Yeah, so thank you for listening. We hope that the full moon is a good one for you. And yeah, thanks for your likes and comments and shares and subscribing. And if you're listening on podcast, we'd really appreciate it if you'd rate us. And yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ciao.